Welcome to the Profits in Pajamas podcast. I'm Danielle D, or Coach Danni D, and I help women to create luxury brands by creating processes and tightening their branding. This is where we talk about how to build your business in a way that allows you to work with ease and enjoy your life. My happy space is spending as much time as humanly possible in my pajamas. And I want to help others to find their happy space while still running profitable businesses. So get comfortable and let's dig in. Hello and welcome to the Profits in Pajamas podcast. I am your host, Coach Danni D, always here helping women, especially creative women, whether they're professionals or entrepreneurs, to find that space of work life balance, to find joy and fulfillment, to create systems, and also to set boundaries that make our lives easier, more joyful. So, today I want to talk to you about something. Y'all know a lot of times my weeks give themes and I bring those themes right on to you. So, really, last week I had the honor of being a guest lecturer for one of my mentors for their program, and it was a amazing experience. I love teaching. I love sharing. It's just one of those things that I've always enjoyed doing. And I love that being both a speaker and a coach puts me in a position that I can do that more often, right? But anyway, so I was talking to her class and she gave me the greatest compliment afterwards. And she said that you have a talent for helping people find their voice. And I never thought about it in those exact words before. I know that, I work with a lot of people. I work on confidence. I work on helping them to get all of their stuff in order. I help people to take action. But I never really thought about that piece of it, of helping people find their voice. And that's a huge part of what I do because I think a lot of times people may not see themselves fully, and because they don't see themselves fully, they then are not able to have that confidence that they need to move forward and to execute the things that they need to execute. So that has been spinning in my head for a little while. Just that compliment and that realization. I always like to sit inside of the things that are presented to me because sometimes we deflect or we minimize, but we don't internalize, right? So I've been sitting with that, and I had a conversation the other day with a friend of mine, and we were talking about branding and marketing and all of that. And one of the things she said was, oh, well, when you write something, when you do an email, when you do whatever, it sounds like you. And she was struggling with that part, like, and I think that again is where that voice comes in, because we are often taught procedure, but no one can teach you, right? And because we're taught procedure, a lot of times the default is to just follow instruction. And I'm not going to get too deep on that trail because last week's episode, me and Laurel talked a lot about making your business your own and what that looks like. But I just wanted to revisit it because it did, come up in a few different ways this week. The idea of really knowing your voice, because it's so important that we know our voices so we know where the information that we receive intersects with who we are. There's certain things about who we are that are not to be changed, right? Um, we do experience growth, of course. There are growth moments, there are times, and for me, being a person that's very introspective, so I'm clear on who I am, right? Part of being clear on who you are is that knowing that you can always learn something new about yourself, though. And because of that, when I am faced with something that I reject, I always sit in it for a little while. Or sometimes I'll even ask someone else that knows me well. Because what I don't want to do is put myself in a position that I am so stuck in who I am that I won't learn or grow. I don't want that to become a hindrance. But I think sometimes we don't think about the alternative of just because someone presented it to you doesn't mean that it is for you or fits you. And that doesn't mean that you can't do the thing, but there's a modification that you can do, or there's a way that you can work through it. And I think a lot of times when we're working with other, people, whether it be a coach, whether it be, um, someone we hire for something, a lot of times we yield to what they're saying without considering how it needs to be modified for us and our needs, or how we need to make adjustments when we execute what we're being told. So there are lots of things that I've been given, like, oh, you should do this, and some things I'm like, that's going to be a stretch for me, but I've worked it out. Like, I'm like, okay, yes, I can do this. And there's some things that are just a hard no. And it's not because I don't want to grow. It's not it just doesn't fit me. And I know long term it's not going to work. People are attracted to your authenticity. And so when it feels stuffed, when it feels fake, when it feels formulated, then people will not connect in the same way. When people just feel like that's really who that person is, that's the people that you connect to. But taking that one step further, think about that in the same way when you are selecting the people that you work with. So if you are looking for a coach, or you're looking for um, a lawyer, or whomever, find someone that fits into your reality or way of thinking. Now, that doesn't mean that that person won't challenge you, because, I know I can only speak for myself as a coach. I'm going to challenge you. I will absolutely challenge you to step out of those places where you need to grow, right? I will challenge you, but we're going to work within your reality. So if you are, I have the unique position of being um, an introverted business owner. And I don't think it's that unique because I meet introverted business owners all the time. And there's always this push that you have to be this certain way. Now, do you have to be able to, say what you provide with your whole chest? Absolutely. If you can't advocate for your business, then nobody else can advocate for your business. Do you have to be, confident as a leader in your business, a decision maker? Absolutely. You have to take on those characteristics. That does not necessarily mean that you have to become an extrovert to be a successful business owner. You can still be who you are, use those best qualities. Every different personality type, every different human being has special gifts and qualities. Lean into those. Lean into those, because there is a customer who is seeking what you are providing. So you want to be, You want to be yourself so your people can find and connect to you. And just the same way, when you are hiring people, whether it's within your business or to help with your business, like I said, if you're hiring an accountant, if you're hiring a lawyer, whomever to work with, if you know that that person understands your language, how you operate, how you flow, then that makes that situation go a little bit easier. And when that person will work within your reality instead of trying to remake you into something else. Because to be honest, you look out there and everything looks and feels the same because everybody is working towards this fake image as opposed to just being who they actually are, being, real and authentic and showing people who they are and what makes them great and unique. If we all are working towards the same manufactured image, then we all are going to look exactly the same. Like, if you have you ever moved into a new subdivision and they have like the two templates of houses, and if you're not paying attention, you're gonna walk into the wrong house. If you go and visit a friend, you got to look for the car in the driveway, and 9 times out of 10 everybody's driving a black SUV, something something something. So that's not going to help you either. So you're going to get lost because everything looks the same. That's what happens within business as well. You get lost in the shuffle because you're so busy trying to look the same that it becomes boring. It becomes confusing for people to tell which is which. When you step out of that and you step into who you are at your core, what gifts you bring, then the people who want those gifts will find you. I had the greatest, compliment, and I get this compliment all the time. In my balloon business, I was, servicing a client today, and I'm working with the client, and we did an event for them previously, so it's just a kind of repeat, but of course I didn't write down all the stuff that I should have. And so I'm like trying to remember off of my brain, like, how did I do it the first time? And I did a good job of remembering, and I wrote it down this time, right? But the point is, I get there, we, set up super easy, and we're just kind of chatting or whatever. And she says, "Oh my God, you were so easy to work with. Your system and your communication is just excellent. I know my clients are corporate clients. This lady travels all over for this corporate account of hers. And she's, happened to have been here twice in the last year or so for openings here. And all she wants is somebody to come in and get it done and, make it easy, and that she knows that it's done, no issues, no problems. But I know that about my client because I know that my background in operations, my background working in corporate space, I know what that looks like. I've had to do logistics for events for years. And so I know what that looks like. And so I know what that client needs and wants. And I know how to bring that to the table. But if I was just blending in with everybody else and all the different, trends and this and that are going on. And there's nothing wrong with that, especially if that is your client. But don't get muddled in the mix. Be unique, be the thing that stands out, be the person that says, hey, group B, I'm the right choice for group B. And people who are looking for you will find you. But if you're standing in a line of all the Stepford wives, all looking exactly the same, they don't know which one is the right choice for them. So, saying all that to say, be yourself, be authentic, present as yourself. bring your voice to the forefront so that your voice can call out to the people that need to be in your space and in your sphere. So don't be afraid to be that voice, even if sometimes it feels like you're going against the grain. It's okay. You weren't meant to be a part of that. You were meant to be your own entity with your own voice for whatever it is that you do. This doesn't just apply to the balloon business, it doesn't just apply to coaches, it applies to just about everything. Even if you are on a career path, how do they know that you're about to be the superstar that needs to be promoted to the next level if you just standing in line with all of the other ducks? Be a swan. Stand out. Be you, be yourself. And in that process, this is not the point of this, but I just want to throw it out there. In that process, include your boundaries. Include your boundaries. You deserve to be happy. You deserve to find joy in what you do. And so many people, I know there's some people that you just don't like what you do, and that's a whole different conversation. We need to get you into a space that is better. But for some of us, we love the thing that we do, but it's how we're doing it that is driving us into the ground, that is have us overwhelmed, have us overworked, have us frustrated, have us starting to not like the thing that we do. So that is the other part of it. So one, we're going to use our voices. We're going to bring our voice to the forefront. And the thing about it is, I said I didn't really think that much about how I help people find their voice because I, focus more on helping people find their confidence. But those two things are married. They really are married. When you find one, you find the other. So your confidence often leads you to your voice and vice versa. And the reason why I said it is once you are comfortable in your voice, your confidence level goes through the roof because you can't tell me how to be me. So there's nothing there to shake your confidence at that point. Like when you are being the truest version of yourself, there's a freedom there. There's a level of freedom there that nobody can interfere with. So we're going to find and use our voices, or we're going to stand confidently in that. And then we're going to set appropriate boundaries to maintain our peace as we navigate towards our success. So that's what we're going to do. That's y'all assignment. And like I said, I have the ability to help you with finding your voice, finding your confidence, systems, of course, systems, and those boundaries. Um, I did a interview on someone else's show the other day. Twice this week has come up, the terrible twos. When 2-year-olds, and I'll do another podcast episode just about the terrible twos, but 2-year-olds, they know how to say that word no, and they say it. I mean, it don't matter what you say to them. You could tell them, we going to Disney World. No, that we have to get back to those terrible twos where we learn how to say no to what we need to say no to. So that's what I have for you guys in the world of workflow. We have the Capable Confident Challenge coming up. I have the link in the show notes. So that is where we deal with confidence, finding the root of our imposter syndrome, building up that arsenal of tools to fight that imposter syndrome so that we can walk in our confidence. The Calendar Detox Challenge, that's coming up again in April. So the Capable Confident will be in March, Calendar Detox in April. Calendar Detox is where we start aligning our success story with those things that we hold important to get to our own definition of success with our calendars. So making decisions that feed the success and removing anything that is feeding our overwhelm. So that's that. And like I said, of course, I have individual coaching programs, VIP days, those types of things for outside of the group coaching programs or the challenges that I offer. So that's what I have for you guys for now. Next week we have a wonderful guest episode, so stay tuned for that. I I love the guest episodes because I meet such phenomenal women and we get to have such great conversations. So stay tuned for that. And I will see you guys next week. Thank you for listening to the Profits in Pajamas podcast. I hope you got some great tips to start working with ease. Want to stay connected? Follow me at Your Workflow on Instagram. For more information about building your luxury brand, register for my upcoming luxury brand workshop at CoachDanniD.com.